Hey everybody, we're going to get this next panel started, and Scarlett asked me to step up on stage really quick, and I'm Nathan Pettyjohn. I'm the president and founder of the VRARA Association and Immerse Global Summit, and I just wanted to say a special thank you to the BitBasel team because we've partnered with them, it's been maybe a year and a half ago or so, and they've just been incredibly warm and welcoming and kind of helping us navigate the community in Miami, and they're doing great things, and it's just an honor to be a partner of them, and I'm excited for everything they're doing, and thanks again. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Nathan, as well.
Thank you.
And thank you, Nathan. Immerse Global. We're going to start our panel now.
Awesome. So you can start the video. Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Spiegel, co-founder and CEO of BitBasel. And over the last 10 days, we've had a slew of events, activations. I wasn't lying. This was really the feeling over the last week at BitBasel in Wynwood. We had 5 days and 5 nights. During the day, we had talks related to art, technology, and impact. We had representation from 2 different astronauts, the Inter-American Development Bank. We had Mayor Suarez with us to announce the new NFT integration with Opera Browser that they launched at BitBasel. We had the University of Florida's new blockchain lab. We had the producer and rapper Timbaland make an appearance. We had a lot of talks about the future of space, but all in all, how this all reflects our future technology to the impact that we want to make. And so the whole framework of the event was within the Sustainable Development Goals, the 17 goals, and it was a great week of onboarding and education for everybody, both into art, technology, and impact.
Yeah, so BitBasel actually started back in 2020 in the midst of COVID. And during that time, Art Basel was canceled. So we took as an initiative the blockchain community to help empower the creators during this time and to learn Web3. During a time where there was a lot of uncertainty, we wanted to empower the locals, creators about Web3 and onboard into NFTs. Since then, we've been bringing a lot of value to this community by bringing large conferences like the Bitcoin conference to Miami to really bring educated leaders, leader industry to this space and really highlight and decentralize the process of education here in Miami.
And we had an amazing event. We don't just do one event, throughout the whole year. We do events, small, medium, and large, every week here in Miami, really focus on onboarding people to this technology. As Scarlett said, we've been doing this for 3 years. This is our 3rd year in a row. But even before that, we were working at the Blockchain Center, which started in 2018. But in 2020, we found that art and creators were the way that this technology was getting into kind of mainstream attention. So BitBasel kind of became an extension of the Blockchain Center to fuel our mission of spreading blockchain decentralized technologies to the world, but really through creators and letting them tell their story. So leading up to this year's BitBasel, we had a 3-month campaign, which we called the CryptoArt for Impact Challenge. We had artists from all over the world submit pieces relating to either one or multiple of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And we featured and picked 17 of those artists to be highlighted at BitBasel and also be the first pieces minted on the BitBasel Marketplace, which we launched last week. You can go to bitbasel.com to check that all out. So, our thesis is over the last year, artists have kind of been pushed out of this industry, which they've also started this in the NFT space, all because of this amorphous utility that maybe some of these other projects like the CryptoPunks or the Bored Apes give their users. They have large marketing budgets, they have big communities, they have celebrity endorsements, they have access to these events and special perks, and the one-of-one artist, really got pushed out because most of their time was spent marketing to these obscure Discord and Twitter services or communities, or trying to add value to their collectors and trying to keep up with PFP projects like the Bored Apes. So our platform, we're trying to keep the artists focused on what they do best and what they're passionate about, and we provide utility tooling to not just launch their collection, but to keep their collectors coming back for more. So these are the 17 pieces that are the first ones launched on the BitBasel marketplace. We had over 60, and each artist had such an amazing story. It was super difficult to choose which 17 we wanted to launch with, but we did, and it was a great week highlighting the artist, and it's all around the sustainable development goals. So I'll tell you myself, in the impact space, I'm more of a blockchain-focused person. I've been in this space for over 10 years educating the masses, but just like artists have been, pushing the needle forward and getting this technology mass adoption, over the last 6 months, we're also seeing this refi revolution, which they're calling regenerative finance, or maybe the end of degens and the start of the regens. So me personally, I'm learning a lot about impact, but my partner, Scarlett Arana, and Jorge Cortez have been really focused on impact initiatives in Miami-Dade County for the last 2 decades. So the SDGs are kind of my ABCs of learning the impact space, but I think it just highlights the storytellers through artists, through passion, through creating a sustainable future that we need to have Web3, blockchain, Bitcoin, NFTs merge with, so that we can help tell our story of decentralization better than we have in the past. And maybe Scarlett can give a little bit of her background and why we're choosing impact and the impact measures that we're focused on at BitBasel.
Thank you for that warm welcoming. Yeah, so just a quick introduction of who I am. So actually, I was born and raised in Miami, and my background is actually architecture and geospatial science. So I'm actually a scientist, and I actually got into this space very early on, since 2013. Basically, my expertise is actually geospatial, meaning I'm a specialist in mapping, what everybody now calls the metaverse. And because my dual background of architecture, which is also the main framework of what the metaverse is, allow me to really set the stage of what Web3 became. Within that framework, I've realized, we could actually not just utilize technology, but also bring more awareness. So this idea of art, tech, and impact can be very powerful and building community around the impact base. I use the SDGs mainly as a framework to become better global citizens. It is recognized by the United Nations, and there's 17 in total, on each touching on topics from gender equality to climate change to life below water to water quality. But here at BitBasel, we're particularly fond of SDG number 4, quality of education. We believe in giving access to everybody, not just a few in privilege. So reducing the digital divide is our main mission. How do you give access to this technology that everybody could do it, and also empowering the creators? Here in Miami, we're a multilingual, multicultural city, and we thought that art is the best format of a palatable entry point for many. And to help empower them, we gave this call to action to help us with creators to submit one of the SDGs and submit one of the art piece to represent one of the SDG goals that we have here. So definitely it's been an amazing call to action. It was global. And during the whole entire Miami Art Week, we had them displayed here. People join us from all walks in the world, from RL to the metaverse. So we had 5 in total that was broadcast everywhere in the world, which is amazing. As you know, art is the best way to communicate language, and is one of the main source of elevating humanity's creativity. So this is something that's very powerful. How do we preserve our culture through the arts? And it would be here not for generation, but beyond our generation. So when we first started this mission, we realized data preservation has to be in such a way that it can translate time. And what I mean about this is because these artwork, what you see here, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, we're going to take it to the moon as a way to preserve humanity's cultural value. So I had to read a little bit because this is a historical point of history. Because not only shows that this is where we have to, as humans, all target, where we have to lead up to become better global citizens, but also to empower those creators who are leading the way, where who we are as a humanities, where it's going to take us. Sorry, this is very heavy because it is a lot to take in. This technology is intended to empower the individual, but more so to connect us all. We live in spaceship Earth, a blue marble, and this marble is something it's a privilege to be in. Okay? It's not a right, it's a privilege, it's a privilege. So what that means is that we have to all work together to co-create and co-collaborate to unify the world and to have that legacy live beyond the stars. So I'm going to hand it off now to explain a little bit about how we're going to take it to, how Web3 is going to take it to the moon. And here, I want to quickly introduce you.
Thank you so much. I can totally relate to your emotions because when you were speaking, I started to get emotional too. Because once you understand what you're about to hear, it's sort of earth-shattering. My name is Dallas Santana. I live in Los Angeles. For the last 20 years, I've been an executive with many different television networks in the entertainment industry. 5 years ago, I got into the blockchain industry, never turned back. I knew that NFTs would emerge as something that would be very valuable in the future. And I didn't know I would end up here on the stage today, but I'm involved with the project. And I think you guys that are in this room are the first to hear about it, for sure, in this building, okay, what I'm about to share with you. The Artemis mission with NASA has taken a rocket to the moon. It's actually going around the moon right now. It will return to the Earth in the near future in days. Snoopy's aboard, Snoopy the dog that went on the mission. The very next mission that takes place launches from Cape Canaveral on March 23rd on a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. And on that actual mission is a mission that's been planned for years. I believe what you said was so poignant because what's on that mission is our story of the Earth right now. Who are we as a people? And it's going to go into what's called the Lunar Prize Art Museum, and it's going to be deposited on the moon. It's going to stay there, hopefully, for billions of years. So if we think about when we go and open up King Tut's tomb and we look at the costumes and the fashion, the architecture, and the designs, as you've said, that is the language of that timepiece. We don't need to know what the actual spoken word was. We can see the language. So this is what's being sent to the moon on this mission. It's a very important mission. So if you can imagine into the future that you're part of the human race, hopefully we survive. Hopefully we survive. By the way, there's a lot of the scientists that are involved in this mission. One of the reasons why they're doing this mission is because that's a question. One of the things that they put on the mission is DNA, thank goodness, of all of the animals on our planet, okay? All of the animals on the planet, because we need to protect them. I don't know what will happen in the future, but there is an ark on this mission that contains the information for all of the animals that are on the planet, or a good batch of them, okay? Now, also on this mission, this is the perfect alignment with BitBasel with what you guys are doing. Because I hope that in the future, that people's consciousness and awareness of this mission, these 17 initiatives, with water, what's under the water, with our animal kingdom, with fairness and equality, that maybe in the future, maybe 1 billion years from now, when this is opened up in 1 billion years, and who is it going to be? I remember getting on the conference call with NASA and the team that works with NASA and saying, who's going to open this up in 1 billion years? And they said, well, they might have blue wings and be a part of the human race, but a new evolution. I said, that sounds good to me. Hopefully they've developed so they don't have wars anymore. But if they open this up in 1 billion years from now, they're going to look at our generation right now in the year 2022, and they're going to say, this is a generation that did this initiative. They thought that water was important. They thought that protecting animals was important. They thought that equality of the human race was important. That's what they're going to see. So I think this is a perfect alignment with BitBasel and what they've done with these artists, and I'm so excited. I took a picture the other night of every single artist. It's sacred to me, of their artwork. I put it on my phone so I can go home back to Los Angeles and I can look at these artists that are sending their messages to the moon. Now, what's going to happen is once this artwork gets to the moon, it's linked forever back to the Lunar Prize metaverse. Why is that so important? Because this is going to help elevate consciousness and awareness in marketing and public relations. And when this launch takes place, you're going to see it on TV and you're going to say, wow, that's right. I was there in Miami when they mentioned this in the back room, way down the corridor. They told us that this was going to be coming. And you'll be able to go into the metaverse, and your children and your children's children and your grandchildren and so on and so forth will be able to go in and see this first mission to take humanity's artwork off of the earth and preserve it. This first mission, I was there to witness this actually occurring, and I'm able to see the artist. So when we go into the metaverse, I get so excited about this because there's a 13-year-old girl, and she lives in North Carolina, and she wrote a country song, and it's absolutely beautiful. And she got her music to our team, and we heard the song. We said, this is great, this is positive. NASA said to me, and the team at NASA said, keep it positive. So that's what we want to do, keep it positive. Keep it positive moving forward, okay? There are no other rules other than that. Let's just keep humanity moving in the right direction. So this 13-year-old girl has her song, and her family and her school and other children around the world will say, hey, I want to hear your song. How do I hear it? I'm going to go into the metaverse. I'm going to be connected to this giant museum, okay, virtually, and I'm going to be able to navigate. I'm going to go be able to visit the animal collections, the historical collections, the artwork of this particular program, the music files. I was up in Palm Beach yesterday, and I was at one of the top galleries in the country. And the owner of the gallery looked at me as I explained this mission. And he said, holy cow, Monet, can we get Monet to go to the planet? I said, yes, as long as a 13-year-old can go too. Okay? That's important to us. Okay? And he realized how this impacts the art world as well in terms of valuation and the economic modeling of artwork as well. Okay? So there is an economic impact for artists that are part of this mission. These artists here that are doing this particular activation, I know they want to be sustainable themselves. We talk about animals that need sustainability and water, but I coined a phrase in our community a few years ago. It's called human sustainability. And I'm talking about the economics of artists living and existing and having a way to have a decent living. So this is an economic model for the artists, musicians, painters, and all the great people that are talented, as well as the technologists and the engineering companies and the companies that are in the conference rooms next door who are going to benefit from this technology. Yes, you know, Universal, Warner Brothers, they're all coming in because they want to tap into this opportunity economically with this historical mission. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to be a part of the BitBasel team. You can learn more about our project at the end of this event. I'll be happy to discuss it with anybody that wants to talk about it. I do want to mention a couple of artists that are part of our mission. I invited them to come up. Wouldn't you please stand up? Nadine Casanova and the wonderful art with Marshmallow. By the way, when I got invited to be a participant in this program and to curate the art projects for the program, I said, I'll work on this project really hard under one condition. I have a dog that I love. I love animals. Can we get some artwork with my animal? And can we get it sent to the moon? And I know that will be a great story for children and so forth. So Ori went and drew a masterpiece, created a masterpiece of my dog. And we know that dogs have made it to the moon, and they've been a part of the moon mission. There's been a lot of dog artwork. So I said, hey, I want my dog to help inspire children. It's not just because it's a pet and it's some, Beverly Hills woo-woo, bag or something. I'm not that type of person. I love animals, and so I wanted other people to be inspired by this story that we have our artwork with animals taken to the world. So this is Nadine Casanova. She's an artist. She's doing sustainability work. Come on up here, Ori, as well. Thank you so much for taking the videos here. I'm going to pass this over to first Ori as a testimony to being experienced in this industry as an artist. And what is this doing for your sustainability, Ori?
Well, this is amazing. I mean, first of all, just a great honor to be selected for it. You hear about who is involved and the technology that's used to make sure that this stuff is indestructible from little comets and stuff, and so being chosen for that and being chosen to represent humanity and getting the opportunity to say that my art is truly out of this world. But for sustainability, first of all, I mean, it's legacy. If you meet one of the other founding partners on this project, Lori Taylor, she's just so passionate about legacy, having something for kids and grandkids, and people a billion years from now. Additionally, in the NFT market and the DeFi markets, a lot of the value is based on rarity and exclusivity, I guess you could say, in the art world in general. So now if I have a large piece at the size of that screen, it's worth one thing. If I say it's got a backup on the moon, there's only a certain number of pieces that have that. So that's high exclusivity that not every artist can offer. But yeah, ultimately, it's just it's amazing. I've gotten to meet some of the other artists. It's in all genres. So we have singers from all over the world, visual artists, wordsmiths, and met Nadine this week. So here's yours.
Hi, everybody. It's such an honor to be here. I've had the pleasure of being at the BitBasel event all week, and it's just really incredible to see how many people are in the impact space and are caring about our planet and committing their self, their platforms, their resources, their gifts, their creativity to creating a better world. And so that's what I'm really committed to, and it's been really beautiful to witness the whole team that's a part of this space mission and see that there is a energy and commitment to curating artists that have mission and purpose behind their art. And I'm so grateful to see good people behind it and to know that visionary art that means something is going to be what's going to represent our planet. And I'm seeing... Yeah, so it's an honor to be a part of it. I make art to heal and to transform and to create a better earth through inspiring people, through beauty, and of course our earth. Every single piece that I make is around the earth and around impact. So thank you so much for having me and having my art. I'm just grateful and 100% committed to also caring for our earth. So thank you to the BitBasel team for making that such a huge focus. And I'm really inspired to see how many people are caring, because we need to be caring right now about our earth. And I'm grateful to be a part of a community that's about that.
Nova Spivak, we spent the past week with. He's a scientist. At 8 years old, he had a dream that the earth needed to be backed up. I wish he could be here today, but we had him out at BitBasel for about 5 days with thousands of people every day, so he needed to go home and take a little rest. But this was his vision. It's for all of us. He's very fair in this. There's no politics involved in this. That all of humanity is being involved in this project. When I say that, I mean all genders, all races, all people, indigenous people, people from other faiths and belief systems. It doesn't matter. It's the equation of humanity that he had a vision to make sure was incorporated in this project and to be represented in this project. And what I do believe it's going to elevate the consciousness of humanity. And here's how. There's a lot of parts of this mission that are, I won't call them secrets, but they're surprises. So a year from now, you find out about something that was sent on this mission that's wonderful, that gets people to start thinking, okay? That's a part of humanity and of our earth. And 2 years from now, and 3 years from now, and 5 years from now. So there's a whole planned out phase. This is not a short-term project. This is a project potentially for billions of years. And the mission itself that takes place starting on March 23rd is the first time, I can't believe, I get goosebumps about it. It's the first time that the United States and NASA has returned to land on the moon, to land anything. And they're bringing the artists, they're bringing the creative community, they're bringing this backup for all of humanity, and they're landing on the South Pole. And the South Pole is very important for sustainability, perhaps, for us into other exploration in space, because that's where the water is. So there's going to be a water mission announced at the same time along with the art program. So it really, I mean, who invented this? But it just all got perfectly pushed together. So thank you, BitBasel, for having us here today to share this announcement. I'm so grateful to the community, to you guys who are leaders in the project here today. So once again, much gratitude.
Wow, thank you all so much. Thank you, Dallas, Nadine, Ori. No, it's really without you guys. We're happy to lend, our story, and especially with impact and creativity and decentralization to this mission, and we're excited to, see how it develops over the next couple months. So thanks for being here today, extending your trip to join us at Immerse Global Summit to make this really historic announcement.